Hello, hello. Welcome to the Drop in Dimes pod. The NBA playoffs are over, and my oldest friend, Mark Neighbors, New York Knicks fan
There
incarnate,
we
is
go.
here to celebrate. Congratulations, Mark. Congratulations to
Thank
the
you. Thank you.
Knicks.
Yeah. Wow. I got to admit, that I never thought I'd really be sitting here talking about this. Certainly not in the with the Moochie Norris, Eddie Curry having 7 shoot first point guards, Larry Brown year. Oh man, there's been
The
some
whole
dark
James
times.
Dolan experience, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been a
exactly.
lot for the Knicks
Whew. Yeah,
and
yeah, it has
Knicks
been. But
fans, and congratulations to all of you. I have this Knicks in my background. That's just for the flavor of this season. I can't really claim the Knicks. Back in the '90s, I was a huge fan.
yeah,
So I'm good, and I'm a big Jalen Brunson fan from his time with the Mavericks. So congrats to all of them. Really well deserved. I think something that I'm sure you have been speaking to this whole time, Mark, and really important factors. And a really gutsy move that the Knicks made was they fired Tom Thibodeau and brought in Mike
yeah,
Brown,
yeah. And he
and I
wasn't
think
Mike
that
Brown
made a
wasn't
big
wasn't
difference.
their first choice, right? They went to a bunch of
Uh,
teams to see if they could interview, I think Jason Kidd. I can't remember who else they interviewed, but yeah. So Mike Brown was not at the top of the list. He was sort of an afterthought. And so the fact that it worked out perfectly and he was exactly what the team needed at this time. Yeah. And then you still got to give credit to Coach Tibbs. I mean, he was instrumental in cleaning the program up and like instilling some discipline and getting kind of the best out of these guys who may have been overlooked or were considered overpaid or overrated in other stops. But yeah, sometimes that's not the guy who can get you over the top. Sometimes you need a different voice in there, and it just worked perfect. I mean, it felt like every movie made all playoffs just worked out brilliantly. And of course, it's easy to say that now. I'm sure there was a million mistakes in there too, but it's just when it really counted, he knew exactly how to play it and knew exactly how to coach and how to get his guys ready.
just hand the ball to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, I mean that helps a lot too. When you have a guy like that, yeah, I feel
No,
like we could have done
I'm just
okay.
being facetious. Yeah, I'm being facetious. Yeah, I mean, actually, that's a great point. Tibbs really kind of put the team back on the map. Brought the
Yeah,
team. I mean, the Knicks were a bit of a laughing stock, to be honest, and he brought the team back into national conversation, back into playoff, like real playoff consideration.
yeah,
And he works his guys a little too hard, probably, or definitely. But he really got him to great regular season records. But it's a little bit like the Golden State Warriors with
right,
they had
exactly,
Mark Jackson kind of brought them a little
precisely.
relevance. But then they brought in Steve Kerr to kind of bring him home, bring him that
Yeah,
championship.
exactly. Yeah, sometimes it's 2 different kinds of coaches, right? You get certain coaches that you absolutely need to build a program, and then you have guys who know how to have the vision to sort of take it to the next level, and, it worked out that well.
Hold up. You have a Brunson jersey?
No, that's my these are actually my daughter's swag.
When did you get a Brunson? When did she get that?
Oh, she's been in on the Knicks for a long time. Basically,
Oh,
she
man,
decided
maybe
about
we should have her appear on the podcast.
the only problem is she's 13, and so she's still asleep, and probably will
Ah.
be for another hour and a half.
Teenagers.
Exactly. But, no, I mean, it was about 3 or 4 years ago, she told me she was gonna pick the Knicks, and I told her obviously, after all the trauma, I was like, "No
Watch
one
out.
will fault you if you wanna if you wanna pick anybody else."
Be
I
careful.
was like, nobody will be like, "Oh, why would you do that?" It would make sense. But yeah, she was born in New York, Mount Sinai Hospital, so she's got legit claims. She was actually at the season opener, the home opener this season. My
Oh,
sister took her. Yeah, it was
nice.
pretty cool. So she actually had a special connection to this season.
That's awesome, man. For those listening to the podcast, yeah, my man Mark's got his New York shirt on, hat, Brunson, and some is that Langston
It's
Galloway
Towns.
jersey in the back. Towns,
That'd be
okay.
awesome
Oh,
if it
he has
was
a
oh man. And Josh Hart too.
you have a Josh Hart jersey?
Josh Hart T-shirt jersey, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
t-shirt
my
jersey?
daughter wanted that one. I was like, "You want Josh Hart?" But I was like, "Yeah, she likes the intangibles guys, the scrappy guys." So,
Yeah, he's a hustle guy. That's good.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool.
And me, I don't the only swag I brought was
Oh,
this
that's
thing
pretty
I
great.
got
That's awesome.
as a tourist at the Empire State's Building. It's for the podcast listeners. It's the King Kong taking a selfie while holding the Empire State's Building. So,
That's pretty great.
anyway,
That's good.
that's me. I'm just a tourist, but I can celebrate with you. Why not? Great game. This game is just played out like all other 5 games. The
Exactly.
Spurs taking a
Yeah,
big lead in that first quarter, and then in the second quarter, all their stats just going down.
yeah,
Apparently, that's happened every single game,
exactly.
even the last one when they built that 29-point lead.
Yeah,
And I think the thing that strikes me about this game is Karl Anthony Towns was is out for a lot of the game. This is
yeah,
kind
for
of
sure.
again the sort of thing that I worried about
Yeah,
with the Knicks. And you know what? Neither team played that well offensively. I mean, Knicks
yeah,
had like 37 points at the half. I
yeah.
mean,
And Spurs only had
they
42.
right. Neither
Yeah.
it was like 90s scores. Uh,
Yeah, it definitely felt like a throwback game, that first half especially.
yeah, not in a good way, I would say.
Yeah,
But, definitely ripe for the taking for either team.
absolutely.
The Spurs started scoring a bit, but then another thing that played out like all of them is just those last few minutes, that
Yeah,
crunch time. The Knicks have Jalen Brunson. The
yeah,
Spurs don't. The Spurs
exactly.
just really don't have any. They didn't really have anything that they're going to in crunch time. Harper did start to show up. He was taking some of those last
Yeah,
drives. He had a good last minute shot, but then he also bricked a layup right at the
he
end.
did, yeah. And he missed a free throw, or missed 2, although the second one might have been intentional, so,
It seemed intentional the way he
yeah,
ran
yeah,
in. Yeah, I
yeah.
don't. But even that I think is a poor choice
Yeah, at that point, I
because they still
I
have
know
8
they say
seconds
that.
left.
That's exactly it. It's like, you wanna get as many points as you can because
Because if he
you're gonna have to
scores that, I
foul.
mean, if he scores that layup, OG missed his. They still have a chance to tie it with the
Yeah,
three,
exactly.
right? And then they just
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah, totally.
Um, yeah, they were trying to pull that play. Who did it? With like the Lakers?
Austin Reeves, right?
Austin Reeves. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, he bounced it off and then somehow like ran around to the left and got it. And it almost seemed like they were trying to do that play.
Yeah.
Just but yeah, that did worked horribly.
Yeah. And I mean, it
And
looked like, and Wemby looked gassed at the end again
yeah.
because he had that deer in the headlights look for those free throws. And yeah, he made 1 out of 2, but it was like, as soon as he went up there, I was like, I don't think he can't make both of them. He just looked just kind of out of it. It was, yeah, they've got to figure something out. He's got to hit the gym or work on endurance training or something like that. Cause you can't be 22 and running out of gas every
Well,
game like that.
he got the ball in the paint, Mark. There
Yeah,
was like
exactly.
in the last minute or so, he got the ball in the paint and then makes some wild like turnaround
Yeah.
throw
What was
back
that about
to
too?
like a bad 3-point shooter. I'm like, that's the whole point is to get this guy the ball in the paint. He's 7'6". He can like
Exactly.
just lean over and dunk it. He doesn't even have to
Yeah.
jump, and he's like freaking out. I mean, yeah, they're
Yeah.
young. They're young.
That's
That's the
exactly
thing. They're
it.
young.
You could
It
totally tell.
finally bit them, and I think it's almost that simple.
Yeah, it
Just
really is.
not having a go-to player. I think it's another part is that they're treating Wembanyama like the go-to player. And you're right, he was a little bit deers in the headlight tonight, but they're treating they're doing this pass off to him right at the end, like above the 3-point line. And I'm like, did they do this earlier in the playoffs? I don't feel like this
I
was the
don't
plan
remember
earlier in the
this.
playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like they got
Or
out of
maybe it was just
sorts.
always working because like they must have had some close games earlier in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, it was very confusing to me because I was like, how could they have won 62 games
Yeah.
playing
How could they
offense
have
like
gotten,
this.
yeah, this far in the
Yeah.
playoffs, especially, and 62 games, good point,
Yeah.
with, like, out a plan in the
Yeah.
and
And then they
and they
kept
couldn't find a way to exploit, Jalen Brunson on defense.
exactly. And then
Poor
De'Aaron Fox, they kept trying to feed him and he just could not get out. He ended up 3 for 15, I think. Something
just kept brick
something
after brick. I
yeah,
mean,
it was rough. It was I actually like really felt for him because I was like, man, he just does not have it. And they just keep insisting on trying to get him going. And it's like, no, like sometimes you just got to be sorry, man. Like you're not doing it tonight. Just let Harper take it because he
yeah,
seemed to be the only other one playing.
Harper's little retweet about De'Aaron Fox being
Yeah.
Harden-esque in these playoffs was kinda true.
Yeah.
3 for 15. Harden likes to stick on 2 most of the times, but,
Yeah, that's
2,
true. That's a
3,
good point. Yeah, yeah. At 1 for 8 from
4.
3 as well. So,
Yeah, I mean, De'Aaron Fox, this year, that was what impressed me about him was he had found his three-point shot, but
yeah, exactly.
he seems to have lost it in this
I know.
series.
Yeah. And he's making max money, so they got to figure that out.
Yeah, I think it yeah, I wonder if they'll anyway, we can talk about that later. I wonder if they'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
rid of him,
good point.
but they might not be able to.
Yeah. But yeah, and
Yeah,
then just what more you say about Jalen Brunson, right? I mean, when the rest of the team actually, when the rest of both teams weren't making any shots, Brunson basically single-handedly kept them in the game. And then I did see this amazing stat, right? So he scores 45. There's only 3 other people who've scored 45 points or more in a clinching or in a clinching game of an NBA Finals. One is Bob Pettit, who I had to Google to figure out who that was. Apparently, was the
Oh,
legendary center
Mark.
of the
Come on,
St.
Mark.
Louis
Read
St.
some
Louis.
basketball history, man.
I
You haven't
know I'm
read Bill
terrible.
Simmons' book of basketball? He's Bob Pettitt's huge in that.
Yeah, I guess he is. I think I only read the top 10, so sorry about that, Bill.
Oh, he didn't quite make I think he might have been, like, 12th, though, or something.
I
He
think
was
he's
pretty high
definitely
up
up
there.
there. But yeah, he scored 50 against Bill Russell's Celtics in the late 50s. And then Giannis a few years ago in that crazy clinching game against the Suns, he scores 50. And
Yeah.
then another guy who scored 45 is someone you may have heard of. His name Michael
Mr.
Jeffrey
Jordan.
Jordan. Yes,
Mm,
yeah. Yeah. So and those are the 4 with
Utah
45 and up.
Jazz.
I mean, that
It
is
reminded me, it reminded me of someone more recent, LeBron. LeBron had
yeah,
45 against the Celtics in, like, I think 2011 or around there.
yeah,
Yeah, and it doesn't it didn't maybe seem like that LeBron game, it just felt like no one could stop him, blah, blah, but,
yeah.
it's basically, the same amount of points.
Basically
No one
same
could
thing,
stop.
yeah.
And, I was, like, talking about how these guys are gonna be able to stop Brunson, and he hasn't seen this kinda defense, and that was my talk earlier, and, no, he just took all of them, man. Even
Yeah,
Castle at the end, he was,
yeah. And Castle had a terrible game too, speaking of guys their wings
yeah,
struggling, yeah.
and
He had
Castle's been pretty
finally
solid all
yeah,
series,
he's been
so
great, he just had a bad
I
game, which, I mean, it just came at the
yeah.
worst time for them,
My
but
guess is
yeah,
that Castle's is down from that not, comeback. Yeah, I
yeah,
think that
I'm sure,
affects some
yeah.
people.
Exactly, some people just can't take it as well, and then I think the fact too that, like, I'm sure he was noticing that nobody on the Knicks was able to score except Brunson, and given that he had had the success before, that may have gotten to him too. Like, oh shoot, I can't stop this guy, and if I can't stop him, what are we going to do if the rest of them start hitting shots too? Like, it could have been a little bit of that as well.
Yeah, and I think, meta-wise, like, the talk about Brunson and his size, right, has
Yeah,
been a thing, right? And it's
absolutely,
there's people, what Becky Hammon and
sure,
Draymond Green and, others, I think, former point guard for the Pistons, some others have talked about
yeah,
how they can't, no, you can't win with someone that small. Brunson's 6'1" from
yeah,
the
6'1",
research.
6'2" ish, yeah,
I think 6'2" with shoes, so maybe
yeah,
6'1". So
exactly,
he's shorter than Steph. I was gonna say Steph Curry, it was pretty much a small guy that won, but Steph's maybe more closer to
Was he
six
like six
three.
three or 4? Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe not that short. So you think like throughout history, it's basically Isaiah Thomas and
Right.
now Brunson
Exactly.
leading
Yeah.
teams at 6'1" or shorter. And I think it was warranted what all those people said because it just
Yeah.
really,
It's
through
true.
the years, you got like Steve Nash, Chris Paul, these
Exactly.
these guys, amazing, amazing all time players, just couldn't ever win a championship.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah, and a
and
lot of
now
them broke
Brunson has done
down
it.
by the time the playoffs or when they would hit like the conference finals or so. Chris Paul especially would get always get dinged up. He had 1 year with the Rockets with the hamstring. I think he broke his hand one time with the Clippers during one of those playoff runs. Uh,
Yep.
so yeah, and Steve Nash a little less so, but still, like it was tough. Like he could just never get past. Actually, it was a lot of times it was the Spurs. So
Right. Well, it's just
yeah,
like thinking right for both teams. Actually, that's funny.
yeah,
And now Brunson beat the Spurs. Yeah.
exactly.
Hey,
Yeah,
and I think with those guys, it's like they are so awesome, but you can put a larger defender on them and stop
exactly.
them. Kind of
Yeah.
is the upshot. And I mean, every defender on Brunson is larger than him, and
Yeah.
he just ended up cooking them all. Just amazing. I want to say it's old man game, old man moves a little bit, but he does have this like burst, get around guys.
Yeah, that's the thing is he's not fast, but he does have like bursts of quickness that he could
Yeah.
that I think surprise people because they always think of him as slow, and then all of a sudden he like does something, and then it just kind of happens quickly, and so I
But it
think
is
that
definitely it's
yeah,
under the rim game, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
But, so good at it. Oh, man, some of the moves he
yeah,
had today, scoring on Wimby, he
yeah,
scored with Wimby
exactly,
there, like, getting
yeah.
around him. Oh, man, that was
Yeah, there was a
impressive.
bunch of up and under stuff he was doing that I was like,
Yeah.
"What? How is he getting he's getting through there?" It was just awesome.
Yeah, step throughs, really great stuff. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Brunson.
Yeah, it's true. And,
And
fun
Mitch
thing oh, yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, Mitchell Robinson,
Oh, yeah.
was awesome too, man.
Yeah,
6 offensive rebounds.
exactly, including maybe the most important rebound, like, in Knicks history after that missed free throw, and then grabbing it and immediately popping it back out so they can't foul him and make him shoot the free throws,
Oh,
which he's
yeah, that
terrible
was
at.
huge, man.
I mean, that was huge
Yeah.
'cause yeah, just immediately getting it out to the three-point line, top of the key so that
Yeah,
one of the shooters would
Wemby,
get
I mean,
fouled.
how do you not get that rebound Wemby? He's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
he's holding against Robinson like this
Yes, exactly.
instead of looking for the ball, and that's why
That's what it is.
you're not strong enough with your back to really box him out properly. Yeah, I mean, if he's just facing the basket, he just jumps up and grabs it.
Yeah,
Maybe
and just
doesn't even
grabs
have
it.
to jump. Yeah, he
Yeah,
just grabs it.
yeah, and
So,
then it's a
he
totally
was
different game.
playing yeah, he was playing like I would play against, like, a guy 8 inches taller than me or something,
Yeah,
like, I
exactly.
gotta, use
Yeah,
all my
it's
might.
for sure.
Just terrible
Yeah,
by Wimby there, but, Robinson just huge in those minutes. I mean,
yeah,
Call Anthony
absolutely.
Towns, yeah, guess how many points, guys?
Ooh. 8?
He had 2 points,
Yeah,
Mark.
2,
2
Jesus.
points, dude.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Man, I
I mean,
was so
people were talking about
generous.
him being MVP earlier in the series,
I
man.
know. First 2 games, everyone's like, "Oh, actually, he's the stealth guy who's gonna take it," and then it's like,
I
"Oh,
mean,
well,
and he
maybe
was
not."
amazing those first couple of games. Like
He
his
was. He really
defense
was.
was incredible. He was driving past. He was very key.
Yeah.
But these last couple of games, he's been getting into foul trouble. So this is
Yeah,
what
he
I
fouled out
thought would
last
play
night.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, fouling out, and yet the Knicks still pulled it off. And that speaks a bit to the Spurs being young and not probably just in this last game. Frankly, just their will is killed by that horrible, huge
Yeah, I
comeback.
think so. I
So
mean, they'll never admit it, but, like, yeah, they must have just as soon as Brunson starts scoring and the score gets closer, they must be like, "Oh, shoot, here it go again. Like, we can't stop this." And, yeah. And, as they keep saying too, Mitch is a young coach too. So, like,
yep,
I mean,
that's
he's
right.
never had to deal with this, whereas Mike Brown, yeah, he hasn't, he's only coached in one finals as the head coach, but then he was with Golden State for a huge chunk of that run as an
Yeah.
assistant to Steve Kerr. So he's obviously seen the most
I mean, he'd
intense
even
bright
come in
flights.
as head coach sometimes
That's
in
right.
that
Yeah,
run.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
I
true.
think
Yeah.
the Warriors never lost a game when he was head coach.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I mean, he knew all the right buttons to push. He would never let like the pressure get to him because he's seen it so many times at this point, and he knows it's a different rhythm and everything for the finals. So
Yeah, OG, didn't show up quite as good, this
yeah,
game. Bridges was good again.
yeah, he was. And OG did have that really crucial drive where there was the goaltend pretty late in
Oh,
the game.
yeah, that was so weird watching it on TV because 'cause I'm like, "How did he block that?"
Yeah, exactly. And then
And
you
then,
see in
yeah,
slow mo, and it's like he's just
yeah,
putting
it's
his
like,
hand in the
"Head through the
basket.
rim." Okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's not legal.
Yeah, it was like yeah, it's like I could,
I
we could
gotta
all stop that if we were allowed to just like stick our
yeah,
hand permanently in the
tell the
rim and just
children,
yeah.
"Can't do that, guys."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not allowed, guys. But yeah, I thought that was crucial too because it was another example of just like Wemby not being able to stop anybody late in games because he was either kind of off of where he should have been standing or just like doesn't have quite the strength to stop these guys from sort of muscling him out of the way.
He stopped it, it's just about 5 inches too early. They just need to be 5 inches forward.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. But yeah, and then he had 5 blocks in the first half. Wemby did, I think. But yeah, second half, none. So that's
A good
huge too.
point, right? Your speed
Yeah.
is getting tired.
Yeah, yeah, his stamina and stuff. So he just needs to just hit the
The coach
gym
did a
or
little better tonight, only playing him
he did.
38 minutes instead of, like, 44.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought it was good. Well, we were talking about this the last time. I thought it was good. You got to give Cornette a chance. Like, I don't, it was kind of unfair how he seemed to get like sort of made fun of. It's like, oh, now it's our chance to crush him because like Cornette's in. But like he played a lot during the season and he's a decent big man.
For sure, and I think
Yeah,
but, as we've been talking about, that gives the other players sort of a chance to be like, "I'm the man now.
exactly. Yeah.
I don't have to pass to this alien."
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
I
don't have
think
to defer to him.
that's a good thing for the team.
Yeah, for sure.
But, anyway, all of that's under the bridge. The New York Knicks are champions.
Absolutely.
Congratulations. Did you have any other thoughts on this game, Mark?
Nope. Nope. I think we covered it pretty much. I got about 3 hours of sleep because I was pretty keyed up. And I was watching like highlights. I listened to the Bill Simmons live podcast and like
Oh, you
all the
did?
other stuff. Yeah, yeah, I did. I mean, I was kind of drowsy in the middle of it, but yeah, I got most of it.
So I listened to the Inside the NBA guys. Shaq did a fool thing with
Oh, nice. Oh, like his final one for the year.
yeah, he had your boy from OKC had a shoe off and he used it to
Oh
block a shot.
yeah, that was
That
awesome.
one made it.
That's a legendary moment.
The
Got
Jalen
to get
Brown with
creative.
his hair getting on people's his hair
That's right.
black.
Yeah, yeah. The hair dye or
He had
whatever.
like 3 or 4 different people that he got on.
You see all the stains on their jersey.
That
That's
that made
awesome.
it. Yeah.
That's pretty great. Nice, nice. But yeah, no, we can hit maybe our next topic, which I believe is we had some
Wait.
over under.
First, I just have
Got one more thing.
some serious. Let's do some serious thoughts. I will say the Spurs never got blown out, at least, right? It
They
was
did,
like a
yeah.
gentleman's sweep by the Knicks,
Hmm.
but the Knicks were blowing teams out of the water in the
Yeah,
East, and
for
every one
sure.
of these games was close. Kind of came down to those last couple minutes.
Yeah,
Um,
and
but
I was
and then
yeah.
I think a overarching thing for me is like, what's the difference between OKC and the Knicks? Because the
I think it might be.
Spurs managed to beat OKC. What do you say? Yeah.
I think not having J Dub was huge, and Chet being like useless for the whole series. I mean, yes, Cat had his problems, but he did have two good games to start off, which put the Spurs in that 2-0 hole. And so I think that was a big difference. And yeah, not having Jalen Williams there was big. I think I underestimated how important he is to the team too,
Sure.
like
I mean,
earlier
that's
in the
reasons
playoffs.
why OKC lost. But I'm like, what is it about the Spurs that they could beat OKC
But they couldn't beat New
and
York.
they couldn't beat New York. And I think, you mentioned Chet. I think Wimby just gets up to play Chet, and it's just like this gives him someone to crunch on,
Yeah.
and he didn't have that in this series.
Yeah. True, true.
Uh, Carl Anthony Towns was holding his own. Mitchell Robinson obviously going to hold his own, and
Yeah, because he was trying, obviously, with Mitch, right? With the whole, like, I'm in your head thing. But
yeah,
yeah,
and Mitch just forearm shivers him to the ground, and then
exactly.
gets the most important offensive rebound on him.
Exactly. So, like, that didn't work. And yeah, whereas Chet just clearly was kept getting spooked
Yeah.
by
And
by
Wemby is
Wemby.
just like sees blood when he sees him,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that
I mean,
motivates him more,
it's definitely blood in the
especially
water
to just get
situation.
in there and not just shoot, three pointers over the
Yeah, yeah,
top.
because he was in the paint a lot more because he knew he could just bully Chet. And so, yeah, that was I think that was the key difference was the Chet thing. But also, yeah, I mean,
Well,
having
I mean,
J-Dub just because he's another
yeah,
guy who can
it's
score and
it's
has
appropriate.
experience.
It's appropriate to mention J Dub, but I would say that the Knicks, I mean, maybe Mikal Bridges, but they don't really have a second great scorer,
That's true,
right?
yeah.
I mean, they're kind of built the same way as OKC,
Yeah, it's
but
a lot of
the
team
fact is
basketball, that's
is
true.
is the Spurs they kind of shut down SGA. I mean, for
They
like
did.
a
Yeah.
good half of those games, and Brunson had some poor shooting stats, but they never really shut him down.
Yeah, yeah, because he got better as the game went on.
Yes.
He'd have a terrible first quarter where he'd brick a bunch of shots and turn the ball over. But then come crunch time, he was always hitting his shots or getting other guys open by drawing the defenders, and then the other guys were making shots. Yeah, it was quite different. I'm not sure why they can manage SGA so much more because he is bigger and
Yeah.
he has the regular season MVPs and he's won a finals before where he was the best player on the floor there on his team. And so, yeah, I don't quite get it either. But it'll
I
be
think it just speaks to Brunson's
yeah.
craftiness, man.
I think so. I think maybe he's just a different kind of guy. Brunson just has that special thing. I forgot this too, but I saw this stat too, which is kind of amazing. He won his high school state championship. He won obviously with Villanova very famously, and now he wins with the Knicks. The last guy to have done that in the NBA, Irvin Magic Johnson. Like that's the company we're talking about. And obviously
Wow.
two totally different guys, right? A 6'9" point guard, a completely different style of
Both point
play.
guards, though.
But both
Interesting.
point guards, yeah, which says something about their leadership. That
But
their
right,
leadership was
like Magic
clearly
not
there
only
from
not only
16, 17 until they're professional. Like clearly they're just the kind of guys who know how to win and know how to get their teammates to be better.
that's a great analogy, Mark.
Yeah.
And we don't think of Brunson with that stature, but this is just his first championship. The
Yeah,
Knicks are still
exactly.
built to win. As far as I know, they can bring back all these players.
Yeah.
And now they've had a taste of it. They know how to do it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I assume they're going to want to do this again and fight for it. And I don't think there's any issues on that team that I know of. Just the cat stuff. But hey,
Yeah.
cat got out of the hump, over the hump, and
Yeah, and maybe that helps him too, is that, like, now that he
yeah,
has it, he'll
he
play
can
a little
chill a
more
little bit.
relaxed. Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah.
won't be quite so tentative at the beginning of games and get into foul trouble, which will be good.
But
Um,
Brunson, yeah, definitely more of a shoot first point guard than
yeah,
Magic Johnson.
for sure,
Mm,
for sure, and obviously physically quite different. But yeah, I think it just shows that the mental side of the game and the leadership side clearly very similar. I would have assumed there'd been a ton of guys who'd had that kind of success. But yeah, the fact that this is the first guy since Magic is pretty
wow.
wild.
Yeah, that's a great one, Mark.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go on to the next segment. What do you
All
want to
right.
do?
All right. Do you want to do playoff memories first? Or no, actually, let's do that last. Let's do the over unders because
All right, let's get to our
I
over
definitely
unders.
know I failed on my legendary wild card choice, but we can get to that at the end.
Don't give it away, Mark. Come
I
on.
just I just said wild card choice. We can let our audience guess
Oh, okay.
which legendary player I may have miscalculated on.
Okay. All right. So I got the Knicks Spurs up here. Okay. So we had Jalen Brunson, 26.9. Both of us went under for reasons
Yeah, why
I
did we do
can't
that?
remember right now.
I think maybe we
This
just
was
thought
no,
the
this was my thing. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
he hasn't seen Castle and Harper yet. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
they're
exactly.
gonna
And they did
get
it to
him.
SGA. Like, there's no way they're not going to be
Yeah,
able to do it to
nope,
a smaller guy.
nope.
Yeah,
He freaking took him for to the tune
yeah.
of 33 points a game.
Jeez, that's
That's an over,
insane.
buddy.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Ananobi, we also had under. We're like, Ananobi can't score 20 points a game. What? What is going
Yeah,
on? Yes, actually he can. 21.2. He's over.
yeah, yeah. And that's with a
Bridges.
bad final game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because he was huge the game before.
right. Exactly.
We knew we were losing that the game before. Bridges
Yeah.
with we had 14.6. We had them both over. How did Bridges do? 10.4 way under.
All
Oh my
right.
god, we're 0 for
We're
3. 0 for 3
we're
on this little game.
yeah.
Okay, let's go for Cat. What we got? 16.9. Okay, we finally have a difference. Okay, good. Cat had 13 points per game.
Did
That's
I
an
have
under,
over?
boys. Mark had the under. Mark with a victory on this
Yes.
one.
Finally, 1 for 4. Yes, if you were wagering based on our choices, guys, we're sorry that you may have lost your house.
Luckily, they don't have these wagers, so you can't have lost anybody. That's wagers
Okay,
don't
good,
exist.
good.
We also did Cat rebounds, 10.6 rebounds per game. Cat, how'd you do? He comes in at exactly 10.6. That one is a wash.
No way. That's pretty
A
cool.
wash. Does that mean?
Yeah, does that mean we
Does
both
that
get
mean
it?
we lose?
Or do we
I think
both
that means we
lose?
lose.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I guess so.
Damn it.
Yeah, you're right, because they got to pick over or under, and we picked, and he got exact. So, yeah, all right. Well, so much for
Yeah.
that.
Okay, I'm 0 for 5.
And
That's
I'm one
impressive,
for
man.
5.
I think flipping a coin would have done better. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Brunson, 6.6 assists per game. Brunson came out with 4.6. We were both
Oh,
on
did I have
that. We won one. Yes.
wow.
The winner. Okay. Let's go over to the Spurs. We had Wemby, 23.2. We had him over, and in reality, he was over 26 points a
Yeah,
game. We got that one, folks. He did he did score a lot. It's just that he doesn't have that go-to move. It's not like
yeah,
consistent.
exactly. Yeah, he was 7 for 19 from the field too, so, like, not efficient this game either. So,
Yeah, I mean, not terrible, but not, he's a 7'6" guy, not Shaq numbers, that's for sure.
that's
Let's put it
exactly it.
that
You
way.
need a guy like that to hit 60% of their shots because 'cause they're doing it from the paint, and they're just unstoppable.
All right, we had Castle at 19.2 points per game. We both went under, and Castle had only 14.6 points.
Wow.
All right, that's
I
another
feel
winner,
like
man. All right, we're doing better
alright.
with the Spurs here.
Okay, okay, good, good.
Okay, Fox, 16.4 points per game. We had a difference on this one. What did
Okay.
he come out with? 12.8. Yeah, he was terrible. Mark got it with the under.
Oh my gosh, that's
Nice.
insane.
No clue why I put over. Okay. He must have looked good at that. I think he looked good in those previous series.
Yeah, he did. Or you were thinking of Light the Beam, Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Harper, 13.1. Oh, we had another difference. Let's see what happened. I bet he went over on this one. Yeah, 18. He was their second highest score.
Did I have under?
You had under. Finally, I
Yeah.
won one. Oh boy. Okay, and then Wemby, 10.8 rebounds per game. He had 11.2. Oh, hey, we both got that one.
Oh, alright. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
That was a
Mostly
little
because they didn't
closer than I
play
would
his
like.
his backup at all.
Exactly, because Cornette got 3 minutes a game.
Yeah. Who else is going to rebound? Okay, Castle, 6.7 assists per game. I think we went under on this bad boy.
Yeah.
And we definitely got that 4.2 assists. So
Alright.
under hits and not lastly, second to last, Fox, 5.9 assists per game. Okay, we had a difference on this one. How'd you do,
Okay.
Fox? Fox had 6. Just made it. Mark with another winner. Look
Are
at
you
that.
serious? Man.
My gosh, Mark. Looks like I'm gonna have to buy some dinner here.
All
Uh,
right. Well,
unless we count this last wild card as like 5 points. Biz Macbiabo, Mark had over 4.5 minutes for the Biz
and let's see
playing
how
in
many
this
minutes did he
series
have?
total.
A
Big
goose
zero, Mark.
egg. It's
Goose.
because there was no blowouts. I was like, there's got to be at least one blowout where they're going to let the
Yeah.
Biz do some damage.
Nope.
No.
But I think you still won it, Mark. Yeah, you had one, two, three, and I only won two. Yep, you got me
I
three,
mean,
two.
to
All
be
right,
fair,
go
it's
for two.
not exactly a not exactly a really amazing track record.
Let's not talk about our overall. Actually, we did much better on the Spurs. Yeah,
We did. Yeah, Spurs we did a
big
lot better.
winners
That
on
is
the
true.
Spurs.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah. The Knicks we just
we
totally
won everyone on the
miscalculated.
Spurs and not with the Knicks.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and then our overall series picks. Do you remember what your pick was, Mark?
I was Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6, and I had the Spurs in 7. So we'll give that one to you, Mark.
All right.
Even though they pulled off the gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. All right. So, overall thoughts on the playoffs? What are some defining things for me? One of the defining things was hamstring injuries.
Yeah, for sure.
So last year was all about Achilles injuries, right?
Right.
And this year there was an Achilles injury with Dante DiVincenzo, but just lots of hamstring injuries affecting things. My main man Luka Doncic just never even
Yeah.
played with his
I
hamstring
know. That was
injury.
rough.
Anthony Edwards came into the series with a hamstring injury, and then he got a weird knee injury. I guess it wasn't a
Yeah.
hamstring exactly. Jalen Williams, of course, was out.
Yeah.
I mean, what did he play? Like 3 or 4 total games?
At most, yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
just kept getting and he'd missed what, like 60 games in the season or something like that? He missed a lot of games
Oh wow, wasn't
because
that
of
many?
hamstring issues too. Maybe some other stuff too, but yeah, it had been bothering him a lot, the
And
last
then the
year.
one hamstring injury that I think we were a little worried about, but ended up just being a minor hamstring injury. OG Ananobi,
Yeah,
people
I
remember.
know.
And
Whew. Yeah,
yeah,
because
I mean that would have
that
been
killed him.
huge. Yeah, he
That
was
killed him a
so
couple of years
important.
ago
Yeah.
when he got his hamstring injured. So, yeah, he was so huge. Like, I mean, yeah, the whole playoffs is different if he's not healthy. So, that was big.
Yeah. So, but he came back. He's a warrior. So that was one thing I was thinking of. That was sort of a defining thing. Another was big man shots. Actually, let's go into our playoff moments.
Yeah. Sure, sure.
So I'll list a couple. We can go back and forth.
Sure.
So I just remember. Well, obviously, as a Charlotte fan, I started off with just Orlando just whooping Charlotte. Like
Yeah.
everyone was just talking so much crap about Orlando, and Charlotte had just come off this huge win against the Heat, their first sort of
Right.
pseudo playoff victory in like a dozen years or so. And
And they're a fun team,
then
you
they
know?
then they just got smoked by Orlando.
Yeah, that was
Orlando
bad.
kind of parlayed that into a great series against Detroit.
Right.
But then another big playoff moment is Detroit just had that huge comeback. And that one felt even bigger than the Spurs one, to be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
because Orlando just or Detroit
How
looked
many
so bad in that game. That was like a 22-point comeback, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, and then it was also because Orlando missed how they went, what, like 10 minutes without making a shot? It was something,
Yeah,
like,
something crazy like
painful to
that.
watch. I mean, they just completely fell apart and just could not buy a bucket,
Yeah.
and you could just see them crumbling, like, as the game goes on. But it was yeah, I mean, for Detroit, that was a real gut check moment. I mean, they dug deep for that for sure.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, that was a closeout game for Orlando,
Yeah.
and I was watching with a bunch of my Pistons fans and my
Right,
brother-in-laws,
right.
and they all left at halftime. They're like, "This is over," they didn't want to watch it. But what a comeback! And then just another one from that series. There was a Cade versus Banchero kind of battle where they each had
Yeah.
like 40 plus. That was really cool. I think Cade ended up pulling that one out, but Banchero was really forceful and scoring a lot. So that was a great game. What
Yeah.
those are some. Why don't you hit us up with some, and we'll go back to me after.
Yeah. Well, I think too was just, every playoff has a few like this, but I feel like this year there was a lot of like young players kind of coming into their own or surprising us and just being fantastic in the playoffs. I mean, we've already talked a lot about Harper on the Spurs, but then their whole kind of guard group, the young guys just really showing up, which was impressive. But then not just there, but Cade Cunningham really kind of emerging. And then you get Phillies guards, Edgecombe and Maxey, just the I mean, in that Celtics series especially. I mean, obviously it got a little bit rougher for the Knicks series, but I wouldn't necessarily blame those guards for kind of the whole thing falling apart because they were doing everything they could to try and survive. But I mean, that VJ Edgecombe, like what a great draft pick that was. So that was a big thing too. Was just a lot of young guys like especially guards, all of a sudden kind of coming into their own. It's like, okay, this is going to be the next kind of generation of stars. You could see them being in the playoffs kind of every year and doing some damage, and then maybe getting further and further and being contenders maybe in the future.
That's a great point, Mark. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, the future is bright for the league. Castle and Harper, how
yeah,
wonderful each of them were, and the other guys you mentioned.
yeah, for sure.
A big thing that I noticed was big men hitting threes.
Yeah,
That was a
man,
big theme. I remember I was in Detroit when Andre Drummond was on the team, and they were talking about he started practicing threes over the summer, and I'm like, this is really stupid. Like, why? I mean, this guy can barely hit a free throw, and like he's practicing threes. Come on, and then in that playoff series versus the Celtics, man, he hit some huge threes
he
that
did.
swung the end of at least one or two games. Wow, Andre Drummond, who knew?
Yeah,
And then Mobley as well. He was hitting threes. He had a couple big games, I think, against the Raptors, where some late game threes mattered. So those are a couple.
yeah, yeah. Those, and then obviously the Wemby half court
Right. He had
heave
that
and the
like near
one.
half court one.
Yeah, and to take it to was it double overtime or to take it to the first overtime? I don't even remember, but against OKC. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, he had another one at the half, like at the buzzer at the half. And so, I mean, it was crazy. It's
Yeah.
just,
These
yeah,
guys, these seven
yeah,
footers hit threes, man. Crazy stuff.
yeah, yeah. And then obviously Cat's a great 3-point shooter. So that wasn't a surprise for me. But
Correct.
when he would hit them, it was like, well, man, that's right. He can really shoot.
And to your young guard point from before, Jared McCain having that
Yeah,
breakout game. I think it was like game five of their playoff series. That was huge.
yeah, for
He
sure.
scored like 20 some off of the bench. And then Dasunmo went off for 40. Remember that
Oh yeah, that was
against the
awesome.
Nuggets? We're all
Yeah, that
like,
was
What?
super
What are
cool.
they? Ant-Man was out. DiVincenzo was
Exactly.
out.
Yeah.
We're all like, what is Minnesota going to do now? They're screwed. And Dasuno comes
Yeah.
out, plays amazing defense, and scores 40.
Yeah, that was very cool.
That was a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
moment.
Yeah, it's gonna be I think Minnesota's gonna be fun again next year. I mean, I know they have to figure some stuff out, but they've got, like, with Ant and Asunmo, and it's just fun to watch them. So, I hope they figure it out so that they're in the mix.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
interesting. If they don't get, if Ant Man isn't a little hobbled or DiVincenzo doesn't go out, do they maybe beat the Spurs?
yeah, I mean, that was a pretty close series, so
Yeah, and then that would obviously, I think probably OKC would have taken them. So it would have
yeah.
been a OKC Knicks finals, SGA versus Brunson. That'd be interesting, but and that could happen next
It could happen
year.
next year, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, OKC looks like they said they're gonna run it back. So, it is gonna be the
Oh,
same
really?
guys. Yeah, yeah, I think they're not gonna try and trade Chet. Although, who knows? Maybe that's a feint, and then they end up trading for somebody on
They're
draft night or
they're
something
trying
like
to
that.
get like a top 4 pick or something, right?
Yeah, because they do have I think they still have like 10
Crap
rounders
ton
over
of,
the next
yeah.
7 years or
Yeah,
something.
I
So
think so.
they've got a lot of draft picks and a bunch of second rounders, and then a lot of guys on rookie contracts and stuff too. So like they could be in the mix. You could see them maybe, or even maybe I could see them like trying to trade with the Clippers to get the number 5 pick if they can't get into the top 4. because the 5 pick's probably going to be pretty great too. So
Mm, yeah, probably a good guard in the 5 pick.
yeah, exactly.
You got any other playoff moments you remember?
And then just, I mean, same thing. I know it happens every year, but it just seemed like there was a lot more just crazy blowouts, and a lot of that was just because of New York blowing teams
Yeah.
out. But I still think that was hilarious, that stat from the conference finals when they beat Cleveland by what, like 31 or 32 or 33, something like that. And they had been blowing teams out in those clinching games by such a huge margin that actually lowered their margin of victory in
Right, yeah,
games
you were
because they
mentioning
beat
that.
Atlanta by 50 plus, and then they beat Philly by almost 40. I want to say like 37, 38. And so it was like, man, that's just
Yeah,
insane.
good on the Spurs, they only lost by 4.
Yeah, exactly. They kept it close. So yeah, good for them. Uh,
No, a loss is a loss is a
that is
loss.
true. Scoreboard says the same thing.
Oh, that reminds me though of the Knicks' only real defeats and only real scare against when McCollum, kinda had
Yeah,
his star
apparently
moment, his
apparently he's the
villain
Nick
in New York
killer.
moment. He they found a way to have him take on Brunson, and he was
Yeah,
killing Brunson at the end of the couple games to make, some big victories for the Hawks and go up 2 to
yeah.
1. That seems like forever ago, but it
I
did
know it
happen
really
this playoffs.
does. Man, yeah, yeah, that was eons ago. But yeah, CJ McCollum, like yeah, he's carved out a pretty awesome career actually for a guy like yeah. He's never been on a team that does much, but like, he's cool.
He's a great scorer,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the kind of defense always held him back.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
He
I
was
just
a
wanted to
former
say
Wizard, though. Can't forget that. The power of the
we can.
Wizards.
We can all forget that. It's fine. Why don't we let's talk best Knicks of all time.
Yeah, let's do
Oh,
it.
you got yeah, okay. So, obviously, Brunson just won and could be a little bit prisoner of the moment going on here. So we gotta
Yeah,
be careful of that, Mark.
it's true. Yeah, yeah. No, as tempting as it is to be like he's the greatest Nick of all time, I mean that ignores actually a pretty great history for that franchise. I mean, obviously sandwiched in between some really terrible times, but I would say I still think the edge goes to Walt Clyde Frazier because he's got two
Yeah.
rings, and he was really like kind of one of the first point guards who was really like just a dazzling guy, like great moves, and he was like a great dresser. If you looked, he was always wearing like alligator shoes, like fur coats, and he just looked so awesome. And so he was pretty great, and especially because like you could say Earl Monroe, except for he did all of his stuff where they called him Black Jesus when he was on Baltimore. So, like, as a Nick, he actually kind of toned his game down because he wanted to fit in the system and win. So, it's a little bit of a different thing. So, you can't unfortunately put Earl Monroe in there, even though obviously as a career wide, he's a legend. But so I still go Walt Frazier is number one.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
He's obviously, before our time, like, we never
Yeah,
really
exactly. I mean,
witnessed
that's
him in
part of it too, is that
person.
we can't obviously
Um,
testify to it by going to see him, but
but, he was a big point guard and, just had that coolness factor as well.
yeah.
But, the 2 championships, he had a couple, NBA first teams.
Right, right,
Um,
exactly.
so we'll give the title to Frazier. Who you got?
Yeah, this was tough too. Cause same thing. I wanted to put Brunson in, but I'm gonna save him because I think just because he's like such a noble hero who got so close. Some would say a finger roll close. And if it wasn't for 2 for 18 John Starks, maybe he has it. Patrick Ewing, I just have a soft spot for that guy because he just carried that franchise for so many years. And he just happened to be born at the same time as Michael Jeffrey Jordan, which just, I mean, how many careers did he did he stop from fully getting what they wanted, right? Carl Malone, Charles Barkley, Ewing,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it goes to show you too, like the only Rockets titles were when Jordan wasn't playing, or I mean, he showed up at the end of that last season, but he wasn't quite in condition yet. So the 95 season when they
Yeah.
won their second title. So, yeah. Oh, Clyde Drexler is another one. He had to wait to get that ring traded to Houston when Jordan wasn't in the mix
Right.
because he gets stopped by Jordan too. Gary Payton had to wait till he was a like 15th guy on the Heat on that '06 squad playing playing
Oh
like
man, that
3 minutes a
was a few
game.
years later. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he was not the Gary Payton of old, not the glove, but
Not the glove anymore.
yeah. So Patrick Ewing for me, I'd say he's number two.
Well, I'm glad that you picked him, and I think that Jalen Brunson's father apparently would do the same. I don't know if you watched
That's
the
right.
post
Yeah,
game
yeah. I saw the clip.
podcast,
I did see
but
the clip.
they're like celebrating Jalen Brunson and talking about how great he is, and his dad's like, "Now I wouldn't put him above. I love my son, but I wouldn't put him above Patrick Ewing." So I'm like,
Exactly. Patrick Ewing, the
oh,
legend.
that was that was kind of really,
That
Rick.
was pretty funny.
But, if his own dad's not gonna put him there, then I'm not, and,
Yeah,
Patrick
exactly.
Ewing is just one of my favorite players of all time. I don't know why, but in the
Absolutely.
'90s, I just, came upon this guy. I mean, the Knicks were the underdogs. The Knicks had
Yeah.
a crap team, man. I mean, they
Yeah,
had
they
a
did.
bunch of
Yeah.
bricklaying, just kind of thugs, basically. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know what you can call Anthony Mason. I mean, he beats up
Yeah,
his
yeah.
own team members.
Yeah, he's a scary
Xavier
dude.
McDaniels. Yeah, even Oakley. Oakley
Yeah.
was at that Spurs game, by the
He
way. Did you
was.
see him?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Can't ban him from every arena, James Dolan.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good actually that they won there because then Oakley could
Yeah,
celebrate. So go on. I mean, I love all those guys. I've
I
followed those
do
guys
too.
in the '90s. And Ewing, incredible defender.
Yeah.
And if you're listing people on ranking the greatest players ever, I think you're gonna have Ewing above Brunson.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's on the dream team, you know, took Georgetown to 3 straight NCAA
Oh
finals,
yeah.
winning one of them. I mean, like, he was great at all levels too. Just a really good
And
player,
just
so
the sustained success for the Knicks. I mean,
that's
the Knicks
exactly it.
the Knicks had a relevant team for the entire '90s, like,
Yeah,
9, 10 straight years, and that's all due to Patrick Ewing.
yeah,
He was
and
the
you could
focal point of that.
also tell his influence too because when Riles, betrays the Knicks and goes to Miami, he basically builds Alonzo Mourning as his Ewing, essentially, right? Like, builds that team and then in that image as just like a sort of a rough, like, let's fight you for every possession, for every rebound, and then literally fight you half the time too. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that
that's
goes to show,
Riley,
right? It's
yeah.
because they knew, like, he had coached Patrick Ewing and was like, "This is how we can do it in the Eastern Conference. We just got to be tough." And Patrick Ewing was as tough as they come.
Yeah, Ewing was great. Obviously, not the closer that Brunson is. Not
Yeah,
couldn't quite count on him for those types of scores, but on the defensive end, and
yeah,
I'm gonna give it to him. But for number three, I'm gonna go with Jalen Brunson.
yeah. I would
He
agree.
won the championship for them. His clutch moments, not only this playoffs but last year as well,
Yeah, absolutely,
beating the Celtics in those huge comeback games.
for
Uh,
sure.
his clutch performances, man, I'm struggling to think of anyone as good as him.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe
yeah,
the superstars, maybe the LeBrons and the Jordans, but otherwise, just incredible,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
this playoffs.
For sure. And, got to give him credit too, like taking, I mean, a lot of people gave him a hard time too. He took over 100 million less on his contract extension to because he was like, I want to make sure we build a team that can win. Like, that's
Oh yeah,
huge too, right?
that's
I
a
mean,
huge sacrifice for the Knicks, for the
yeah,
Knicks franchise.
absolutely. I mean, 100 million's a lot of money. I doubt I would turn that down.
Well, who knows what backroom deals are happening behind the
Sure,
scenes.
sure, for sure.
Don't investigate it, Pablo
Yeah, yeah.
Torres.
Please. Yeah, yeah. Just stick to
Please
West Coast
stay
teams,
away.
please, Pablo.
But at least they got one chip, before the inevitable scandal
Exactly.
comes out.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
who knows? Maybe it was all legit. And I think just wow, just hearing him talk after games,
Yeah.
hearing the list of accomplishments that Kenny the Jet Smith. I mean,
Yeah.
you talked about earlier his high school championships.
Yeah.
college championships and now NBA champion. And just Kinney had this other list of accomplishments that he reels off every game.
Yeah, and I had
And
never
it's so
heard of half
long,
of
I
those
kind of
things.
zone out.
It's true,
It
but
was
it's
incredible.
amazing. Yeah, the guy's just been winning forever, which is just really impressive.
And at 6'1" to do it
Yeah.
is just another, just such incredible thing that we spoke a lot to. So Jalen Brunson, my number three, Nick. We could have a little fun. Let's go 4 or 5. We could have a little fun
All
here.
right, 4, 5. Yeah, this is where it starts to
Where
get a
you got
little trickier.
Langston Galloway? Is he coming up?
Moochie Norris, of course. That
Gene
guy was
Norris,
huge.
Eddie Curry. There's a lot of names
Exactly.
to pick from, man.
So many choices, so many choices. Number 4, do I go Melo? The problem with Melo didn't win much, but he was so fun to watch, and he was like such a monster scorer. Maybe, I don't know. 4 seems a little high, though. Who else could you put? And the other problem is, I really want to put Mark Jackson, but like Mark Jackson was better on other teams because he wasn't actually on New York as long as he was
Yeah.
for other. He was more of a Pacers Clippers guy, right?
Yeah, he's more Pacers, I think of him. He
Yeah,
was on the
yeah.
Knicks,
So
but he kind of left fairly early.
yeah, yeah, he wasn't on very for that long.
There's
And then there
Willis
was that.
Reed, you got Earl the
Yeah, I guess
Pearl, and then you got the '90s guys, Starks, Allen Houston, Larry Johnson.
you know what? Maybe for number 4, maybe I'll go Spreewell. I'm gonna go with Spree
No.
because they bring him in because they bring him in and he lights a fire under them, and probably everyone was afraid he was going to choke them, so they got out of his way and just let him do stuff. No, he was really fun to watch. I really enjoyed him, so maybe I'll put him as that. And he was just he fit the town perfectly, right? Just kind of a bit of an outlaw, a gritty guy, pretty wiry, so you wouldn't expect him to necessarily be quite so tough, but like super tough. It's close between him and Allen Houston. I like Allen Houston a lot too because he had a sweet when he was healthy. That
Yeah,
jump
he's
shot
so
was
silky
sweet.
smooth, man.
Yeah, yeah. Is that who
I
you'd
want
go with?
I want to put John Starks. John Starks had that just iconic dunk over
Yeah, that was
Pippen
awesome.
and Jordan. Oh,
Yeah,
that
that was
was
very cool.
amazing. Starks was, I mean, he was the two guard for those kind of. I should probably stop using this word, but what's a better word? Those tough,
Yeah, the tough guy
unskilled,
'90s teams.
the
Yeah,
tough guy '90s teams. Starks was also, he was a scrappy guy too,
yeah, for sure.
but
And he didn't come up. He had to
he
fight
was
his way up for
yeah,
sure.
he was a hibachi grill though, man. He would be on fire sometimes and he'd be cold as ice sometimes
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
He was definitely feast or
get him
famine.
some more propane some games. He 2 for 18. He killed the Knicks in their biggest chance when they were up 3-2 versus the
Yeah,
Rockets. That really killed us.
it did.
Got blocked by Elijah.
Yeah,
That's tough. Elijah's very tall.
exactly.
But no, I mean, I think I probably would go back in history maybe to like Earl the Pearl.
Okay.
You just hear about him so much. You hear about
Yeah.
what like a silky smooth player is. I never really saw him,
Right, right,
but
exactly.
like
Yeah, he had
incredible
apparently,
nickname.
I know, the Black
Maybe what
Jesus
you're
is.
saying is right though about well, yeah, maybe what you're saying is right about his bullets, Baltimore Bullets. Is that what you're saying? He was better in that
Yeah,
era.
yeah, that was kind of where he became the legend. And with the Knicks, he sort of toned his game down because he wanted to win a chip. But at the same time, yeah, no, he was great too, and he was only there for one of the championship years too. They brought him in '72, I think, or something like that. There we go. Yeah, and then for 5, I'll go. I mean, even though I picked Spree, but I'll go back. I'll go with Willis Reed, the
Yeah,
original captain,
Reed.
because he legendarily comes out in that finals game, totally hobbled, barely able to walk, frankly, but it like just lights
Right.
the team on fire, like in the best way. Just gets them charged up, and he sinks his first 2 shots, and that was really basically it for him because he was really really injured. But like that was enough that the team was like, oh man, if this guy is coming out on one leg and is doing that, like we got to win this for him. So, and he was a great player if you look at his stats, and a great leader. People really loved him. So
Yeah, so Willis Reed is a really, great choice, but since you picked him, I'm gonna go with the little guy from the '80s who he gets a lot of chatter too. Wow, Bernard King.
yeah, that guy was great.
People loved him. If you look up and down, their win shares on Basketball Reference, he's got 12.1 one season, and that's
Man,
one of the highest in Knicks history. I guess Ewing had a 13 one year, and Frazier had a couple above that, but he was just a superstar there. Although I
yeah,
a little bit am like, was he really that good if the Wizards got him? Because
yeah, but that was after he had blown his knee out.
right, that's right.
Yeah,
He had
because
that
and
huge
because
injury.
that was tough for it too because that injury. I mean, obviously, it's not an easy injury to recover from, but now with the medical tech, it and the rehab kind of methodology now, it's like so much better than it was in the early mid '80s because he didn't play for I think I want to say 2.5 years because he was recovering from blowing out his knee. Whereas now, right, like a lot of these guys are back 7, 8 months later, and they may be slowed down and they don't really get back into it until a little bit after that. But the recovery is much easier
Yeah,
now than it used
right,
to be, and
yeah.
so that kind of cut short his what would have been an even more legendary career. Because yeah, you're right. Bernard King, when he was at his peak, was pretty awesome.
Yeah, he gets a lot of talks, a little before my time. Mm. And then I just wanna shout out Allen Houston.
Yeah,
The Knicks were, like I said, kind of just a bunch of unskilled players in the '90s, and Houston came in, and he has had this silky smooth jump shot.
yeah,
He was sort of the John Starks replacement,
yeah.
and the team really needed that. Led the team in win shares, during their, finals run
Right.
in '99 in the strike shortened season, and had that huge last second shot, to beat, those aforementioned Heat in the 8-1 game,
Yeah, yeah,
in
they were
game
the 8th
5.
seed and they beat the Miami. That was I think Ryle said that was his best Heat team, like, that had the best chance to beat the Bulls and stuff, and yeah, but then they or not the Bulls, sorry, to because that was already after Jordan retired, but, like,
To
that
win the chip.
'99 team, yeah, to win the chip or at least get to the finals, like, he was very
Well, they
like,
couldn't even
not
get
even in
past
that
the first
and
round.
they couldn't even get past the first round
The
because
27 and 23
yeah,
Knicks, took it to eventually got to the finals. There was a Larry Johnson 4-point shot in there or some more.
yeah, that was pretty
Um,
cool.
but Houston was kind of the steady rock of
Yeah,
that team and some earlier teams in terms of his scoring as Patrick Ewing got older
yeah.
and the
And if his
teams
knees
lost
hadn't
pieces.
given out on him, he would have had a longer career too.
Right. He didn't end up having, yeah, that much huge of impact later. But then, then we get into the Marbury days and
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
we don't
That's
need to
when
talk about all that. This
yeah,
is
we
a
don't need
happy time for the Knicks.
yeah.
Congratulations to the Knicks.
Parade is
What a
Thursday.
run.
I think my sister's going. That's what she said.
Oh, the parade's Thursday? Oh,
Yeah,
wow, that's cool, that's good
that's
for
gonna be
her.
cool.
Yeah. I think Doug, my other podcast partner, might fly up there. He was talking about it last night.
Nice, nice.
We'll see. Well, any other, closing thoughts, Mark?
Not too much, but just pay attention this offseason. It does look like Giannis may be on the move. I'll be very curious to see who gets him. Because especially if he stays in the Eastern Conference, like that could really mix things up. It would be kind of fun to see him on another team that actually has a chance to win games as opposed to the terrible Buck squad that he's stuck on now. So that could be fun. As always, always interesting to see what LeBron does. He is never shy about creating drama every offseason. So
Will it
we'll see.
matter though, Mark? I
No,
mean,
it
will it
won't
really
matter, but
matter?
I always
I
like to
think it
watch
I
what
think
LeBron
frankly,
does.
him leaving will just be good for the Lakers in
I think
terms
so
of
too.
I
Honestly,
mean,
they
they'll
need
miss
to.
out on the amazing Bronny James, of course.
Yes, that's
That would be a
true. I
huge
mean,
blow. The
yeah, yeah.
young,
I don't know that the
promising
franchise
player.
will ever recover from that. This might be the
Yeah.
death knell.
Or that
Yeah.
he'll
They
ever
might just
play
have
if he
to.
doesn't have his daddy saying, "Put him in. Put him in,
Exactly.
coach."
Put him in.
Oh, he hadn't
Take
done
Luca
that at
out. Put
least.
him in.
My god. Who's this Luca guy? He can't play defense.
What a loser.
This white guy out here. Uh, I think, well, another big guy could be on the move, maybe not as big a name, is Domantas Sabonis.
Oh, yeah, that's
There's some
true.
chatter about him going to the Hornets for
Wow.
Miles Bridges and a draft pick.
That'd be fun to have
Um,
him on the Hornets, actually. That'd be great.
he might work out there.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
think he'd actually be a really good fit for them.
yeah, they could use a guy like that. I
Yeah, yeah.
wonder who they play him with. It'd be nice to keep Bridges though with
That's
him.
true. He's good. Yeah, if you could figure it out. Oh, man, that'd be interesting to have him on the Oh, and then once again, the Kings supplying winners for the rest of the league.
That would be good. Yeah,
Yeah,
supplying the
the
Hornets a win.
Wizards
Take
West,
that.
basically, is what they're known as.
Poor Kings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my main man Mark here, is riding high. The Knicks have
Indeed,
won.
indeed.
Go get some sleep, Mark, or
I
find
will
some
indeed.
people in Barbados to Knicks fans to party with.
Sounds good, man. I will indeed. Now, this has been really fun. I'm looking forward to our draft chat and other possible future podcasts while we wait for next season to start.
Yeah, so we hopefully plan to keep this going. We'll have some NBA draft coverage. Mark and I both hail from the DC area where the Wizards have the number one pick,
They
and
do.
they have a big decision to make. So our next pod we'll be talking about that and some other draft prospects. And thanks for listening, everyone. Like, subscribe, 5-star.
Indeed.
Peace out.
Thank you much.